What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and yeah, I'm still broadcasting from my kitchen because the studio isn't done just yet. You know, I have stuff at the new place, stuff at the old place, so I'm in the process of getting that fixed for you, but I've been traveling all week, covering BlackBerry World, covering the Infuse launch, and next week, covering Google I/O. But there's one thing that I haven't forgotten about, and that's a battle royale between Verizon's two 4G devices, the Samsung DROID Charge, and the HTC Thunderbolt 4G. This one's on its way out. It was delayed indefinitely because of the 4G woes that Verizon had last week. But you know, it's coming soon. $299.99, $249.99 for this one, and it's out now. Which one's the best? Which one should you get? Should you go with the Thunderbolt? Should you go with the Charge? They both sound awesome. Maybe you should buy both. I don't know. We're going to figure it out in the dogfight. But first, special thanks to our friends at Best Buy. They're hooking us up with a couple of cool phones so we can give them to you in the One Paw Bandit game. This one's actually in the game, and it's coming up, or actually it's coming up soon rather, so be sure to check it out. When you go into Best Buy, you walk out working, they'll help you set up your phone and more. Enough of that, let's get into it. Dogfight. Let's take a look at what comes pre-installed on both of these devices. You get quite a bit of bloatware, and this is something that Verizon's increasingly getting criticized for. On this, the Thunderbolt, the DROID Incredible 2, and several of their recent devices, there's a lot of bloatware on these devices. So let's take a look here. All Share, Amazon Kindle, Vcast apps, Backup Assistant, BitBot, Blockbuster, City ID, let's see, Desk Cradle kind of, Guided Tours, Let's Golf, Samsung's Media Hub, and this I'm kind of grouping Verizon and Samsung together, which I probably shouldn't, but Samsung Media Hub, Verizon Mobile Hotspot, Rhapsody, My Verizon Mobile, let's see, Slacker, TuneWiki, VZ Navigator, and let me make sure Rock Band as well. So a lot of stuff out of the box in this one. And then on over here, BitBot, Blockbuster, City ID, let's see, Let's Golf 2, Mobile IM, Mobile Hotspot, Rhapsody, Rock Band, Slacker, TuneWiki, Vcast Apps, Vcast Media, and VZ Navigator. So a lot out of the box. And you know, VZ Navigator, yes, it's $9.99 monthly, but you have Google Maps pre-installed for free on both of these devices, and to me it's far superior, and it's free. So you save $10 a month, $120 a year, as opposed to using VZ Navigator on a non-Android device or on something like a BlackBerry or a feature phone. So when you really are making that comparison between should I go from a feature phone to a smartphone or should I go from BlackBerry, factor in little things like that, like the fact that you get a free, really decent, if not better, Maps application. So think about things like that if you're trying to debate which phone to buy or you're in the process of migrating from one to the other. So let's take a look. I want to show you this really quickly, the Samsung Media Hub, because it's pretty cool. You know, and it's cool, but it's also kind of frustrating if that, which that doesn't make any sense, but I'm going to explain in just a second. You look at Media Hub, and this is something the carriers are doing when you look at over here, for example, Vcast Apps. It's a dedicated app store. It's Verizon's app store. And so you have Android Market. On this one, you have Android Market, Vcast Apps, and Samsung's Media Hub. Yes, they serve kind of different purposes, but you know, for most users, that's 3 app stores, and that's 2 app stores too many. So to some, it may be overkill. I do like the Media Hub. I like the ability to come in here and let's say the Dilemma, for example. I can come in here, I can rent it for $3.99, I can own it for $18. So yes, it's pricier than going to buy it from another source or using Netflix or something like that. But you do get it directly to your phone, and with the 4G speeds, that's pretty cool. So something to keep in mind, it's a cool feature. They're expanding on it from when they launched it initially at the Galaxy S event last year in New York City, and you can do that. Media Hub, you can movies, TVs, or movie TV shows as well, and more. So nice to have that feature on the device. So let's scroll over here and take a look at the Android market, because I want to show you, I'm trying to bounce back and forth between both devices because at their core, they're Android devices, so they both have the market. So to get equal camera time to both of these, let's go into the Android market. And you can see, I just wanted to go over some of these brief things with you that I go through in a lot of my videos, but for people that are new to them or just watching for the first time, here's the Android market. It's been refined and changed over the past couple of months, and you can see it has this nice carousel at the top, and it's just more aesthetically pleasing than the older version of Android market. And you use it in portrait or in landscape mode, and very clean and easy to use. So let's go to Tower Raiders, for example. I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's an arcade game. That's pretty cool. Small screen, ginormous gameplay. Ooh, that's scary. Fat Albert's scary. But you can see wow, the description's there. Screenshots, sharing, reviews, related. Wow, I really need some sleep. I'm sorry, I've been traveling all week. This is what happens when I travel. I get crazy. developer info, market content, and then and more. So it's all there on that one little screen, and when you click buy, you can accept the permissions. So just a minor revision. And the same thing with the Gmail application, which I'm going to jump in here and show you. And just actually first I'm going to show you messages on both of these devices. And we're going to jump into messaging over here. Let me make sure I don't have any messages that I need to delete, which I do, because I've been using this device. And so we can come down here. Now I've installed the Gingerbread keyboard from Android 2.3. It's available in the Android market, but let me tell you what it gets out of the box. Out of the box, you will get swipe and Samsung keypad. I don't care for the Samsung keypad. It's kind of a mixed bag. Some people love it, some people hate it. But I don't like how it autocorrects, so we'll type in OKL, for example. And I could have been typing something else that started with OKL, but it auto-fills in Oklahoma. And to my knowledge, unless I'm just missing something, there's no way to turn it off. There's no way to turn off that auto-correction. So every now and again, you'll come across a word that's a legitimate word. Let's say I wanted finance or FIR or something else, Firth or I don't know, something like that. But it's going to autocorrect or add first. So see how it's Firth. I'm going to try to see. So I mean, do you see how hard it is to autocorrect as opposed to just typing it and letting you do your own thing? But Swipe's pre-installed as well, if that's not the keyboard you want. And of course, let me turn on auto rotation so you can see it in portrait and in landscape mode. Because it has that 4.3-inch display, the keyboards look good on both of these devices. Now this one just comes with a standard HTC keyboard that you remember, but again, because it's a 4.3-inch display, very easy to type on. The Quick Brown Fox. Where are we going to take the Quick Brown Fox? Quick Brown Fox went to Texas. Quick Brown Ox went to Texas. Got a new animal. The Quick Brown Ox went to Texas. Now the Quick Brown Fox, on the other hand, is going to go to, is off to Montana. The Quick Brown Fox is off to Montana. So you can see one minor mistake, but overall pretty easy to type on. And like I said, it's good as long as you're using, until you run into that one word that's not that common, that's when it gets really challenging. And then back to Gmail really quickly, just to show you the changes. And I'll only show you this on one so you can see, but some minor changes to Gmail if you haven't used it before, you're new to the Android version. It has some cool features like the ability, and this is one of my favorites, I talk about it in almost every single video that I do with an Android device, the header stays at the top. So if you scroll up, halfway through, you're like, I need to respond to this right away. You remember who it's being sent to, and you can easily reply from there as opposed to having to go through another menu or going back and then hitting reply. So it's a nice feature, and it's nice to have that on there. Let's take a look at the cameras too, because these are both 8-megapixel cameras, but one's got to be slightly better. So let's take a look and see. Let's start up the camera. What do you want to take a picture of? Let's do this. This will be good. And then we'll come down here, and it's, a little bit, the lighting isn't ideal right over here, but let's just see. Let's actually do, that's not a good picture. Let's do, take a picture of the kitchen for you. How about that? Okay, so there it is on the charge. And then let's see over here on the Thunderbolt. And zoom in there. Shabam. Shazam, yo. Shazam, okay. So bring it in over here. And you can see, so it's a tough call. This one looks more realistic to me. The colors are more realistic. This one is really playing it up because that Super AMOLED Plus to screen. Obviously, those cabinets aren't that brown. I mean, they're not glossy, shiny brown like that. That's the light reflecting off. So to me, picture quality, and this is, obviously with anything like a Dogfight, I mean, any of this stuff's personal opinion to an extent, but I would say the Thunderbolt has the better camera, in my opinion. I think that's a better, more realistic picture, whereas I think this is a little bit unrealistic. Great camera, though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a good camera. It's still one of the best on the market, but I think the Thunderbolt is a little bit better in that department. Both shoot 720p video. So you do have the capabilities there. Let me switch those back. Let's take a look at quadrant standard. That'll be a good determinant to see. Let's go into quadrant standard. On this one, quadrant standard on this one. And we'll run the full benchmark. Now, I told you earlier in the video, and it may be in part one by the time I edit this, but one of the biggest frustrations for me, again, 4G connectivity is just absolutely terrible when you use it as a mobile hotspot. It's fine usually when you use it on the phone. I don't see any cutouts when I'm, or if I do, if it is cutting out, it's cutting out so quickly I'm not noticing. When I use mobile data, like on the, using this for the internet or for email, it always works pretty well. But whenever you connect as a hotspot, it just dies and just stops working after 15 or 20 minutes. And once it cuts out that first time, it cuts out every 3 or 4 minutes after that. And I've seen that in Charlotte. I've seen it, I saw it in New York City. I was using this as a hotspot yesterday, doing the same thing in Manhattan. I saw it in Orlando. So it's been, a serious thing. It's not just restricted to Charlotte. It's not like we're having network issues and nobody else is. So let's see, benchmark results over here. Service call failed. Let's start that one back up. And while it's running, come on. While that's running, we'll get this one. And let's see. Benchmark 1,000 on the dot. So obviously 1,000, not the best. I mean, you look at a T-Mobile G2X, something like that gets, 2400 easily in quadrant standard. 1,000, obviously isn't the best. That said, I mean, there are so many different CPU tests. There's Smart Bench, which I've given consideration to switching to. I still think quadrant's a little bit better, but Smart Bench. And so don't take that. You can take that with a grain of salt. Quadrant standard isn't the be-all to end all. And in day-to-day use, I haven't had any lag with this thing whatsoever, but according to quadrant standard, it's 1,000. So, don't take that too seriously. But let's see if this works this time. Let's try it one more time. Okay, sorry about that. Obviously, I didn't want to, keep running it over and over again and kill our time that we have together on the video. But 1,438 on the Thunderbolt. So 1,438. The Thunderbolt wins there. And let's take a look at speed tests. This will be really interesting. Actually, pretty excited about this one. But you can see the display differences there. For example, look how black that is as opposed to that. So you can really see the differences between the two. Okay, both on that server. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Bam. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like I should do some music or something. So here it is. The download speed running 7 megabits per second to 7.57 on the download there. Upload 3.38 to 3.96 over here. So a little bit faster on the Thunderbolt. Obviously, this is, again, take it with a grain of salt because it's totally network dependent. We can run it again and they'd be totally different. But, and actually I'm going to do that while I'm talking. But you get the idea. Very similar in terms of network connectivity as you would expect them to be, given that they're on the same network and both running 4G. So what Dogfight has to be, our winner has to be declared in the Dogfight. As always, I'm giving it, again, as usual, by a narrow margin to the Samsung DROID Charge. I think the package that you get here is a little bit more expensive, but I think the package you get, the Super AMOLED display, the 8 megapixel camera, the Android 2.2 with TouchWiz, and the great battery life, 1600 milliamp battery, is a great little package, and that makes it the better 4G device. Now, don't get me wrong, the Thunderbolt is awesome. I mean, I love HTC devices. I think they're great. And, I've always praised the Evo, the Inspire. They have a lot to offer. In HTC Sense, I actually like HTC Sense more than TouchWiz. Personal preference, but that's, the one I like more. That said, I think this one appeals to more people. I think that it offers the feature sets just a little bit better than the HTC Thunderbolt, so the winner is the DROID Charge. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage. I want to hear from you. You think I'm crazy? You think the Thunderbolt should have won by a wide margin? You're an HTC fan? Let me know. Follow me on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron. Let me know what you think. You think I was smart? The DROID Charge is the one that should have won. Hey, let me know. Let's have a discussion about it. Be sure to like us on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/PhoneDog. We're giving away some awesome prizes and more as part of our colossal iPad 2 and smartphone sweepstakes. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.